guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rusty, and if you're new here, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So today I'm going to be talking about my IELTS testing experience. I took my English exam a few days ago, and I want to share like my personal experience. I took it from University of Texas. So the first tip that I can give you, make sure that you go with your passport. I did during my registration process, like when I was registering online, there was an option to upload your, like if you have an employment authorization card, you could be able to upload it. So at first that's what I had done, but eventually when I called like the testing center, they told me I have to register using my passport. So make sure you register using your passport, and do not forget to go with your passport on your testing day. I took my speaking test from a different location with writing, listening and reading. So make sure that you of course take note of the different locations where your tests are going to be. Make sure that you arrive a little bit early, at least 40 minutes early, because one of the locations never had like a parking spot, and you had to like park in a paid garage. So that will take you some time to walk from the garage to like the testing place. So arrive a little bit early, because before you take the exam there's like a registration process. So make sure that you arrive early so you have enough time to park and then walk and then go for the registration. Like you save some minutes for the registration. And also for the listening, writing and reading, it takes around 2 hours and 45 minutes. So you have to make sure you take a bathroom break before you start, because you don't want to like waste some time going to the bathroom while the exam is in process. Then the other thing, the mechanical pencils are not allowed. So I had bought like a mechanical pencil, these pencils where you push and the pencil comes out. I had bought a mechanical pencil and it was not allowed in the exam. When I asked the examiner, she said that it's because some students, they try to cheat using those mechanical pencils. So they are not allowed, but they were able to provide me some pencils within the examination room. So if you forget your pencils, you can they can give you some pencils. And also you can make sure you take like a bottle of water, so that because the session is too long, so it's always good to like take like a sip of water. And then for the bags, they do not keep the bags at the testing center. Make sure that you leave your bags in the car. Just go with maybe your phone, your keys, like just simple stuff. I took like my phone, my key and my pencil, and they can provide you like a bag where you keep those small belongings, but they do not keep for you like a laptop bag size or like a purse. The speaking test is about 14 minutes. I was taken to like a room. It's like a one-to-one session with like one interviewer. It is divided into 3 sections. So the first section was about introducing yourself. First you show your identification, and then you introduce yourself, where you're coming from, and then where you're originally from, because most people who take these tests are not like from native English speaker like countries. So where are you originally from? So I was able to talk about that. And then in the first session he will ask you back and forth questions. So mine was about wildlife. She asked about like the wildlife back in my country, like you give details. The thing with speaking, you can't just give yes or no answers. You have to elaborate. Even if it's a yes or no answer, you just have to make sure that you add more words onto it. So after that, so for the second part, the interviewer will give you like a specific topic for you to talk about. She'll give you like a paper and then like 3 pointers of what to talk about. Mine was about things that have been recently invented and how I use them in my daily life, and then you give the downsides of those inventions. So after like talking about that specific topic, the third session will involve like a back and forth question. She'll ask you like from whatever you speak, she'll ask you the different questions depending on the answers that you give her. Then afterwards she asked me, do people invent like new things successfully if they go via the traditional route or when they think outside the box? So I had to give like my view and opinion about that. It goes by so fast. It's only 14 minutes, so you just have to make sure that you speak loud and clear. For listening was a little bit tricky for me because the tape is played only once, and if you do not get the answer, it cannot be played again. So listening, they'll give you like headphones, and then they'll have to play the tape, and then you'll have to write out the answers. And it's always advised to read like the instructions, because sometimes they can say you can only write only one word, like you can't write more than 2 words. And also it's advised to like usually capitalize your answers. You'll have like an answer sheet where you'll be at the end of the listening test, you'll be given like 10 minutes to like transfer your answers to the answer sheet. And the thing that was tricky for me was the map. I think I missed the entrance. If you miss the entrance, they give you like a building of the map. If you miss the entrance where the person who is talking enters from, that would be a problem, because he's going to be saying like you turn to your right, you turn to your left, you turn to your right, you turn to your left. And if you miss the entrance, it's really hard to figure out where the different buildings are. So that's why listening was a little bit tricky for me. But one tip, make sure you figure out where the entrance is, and you have to make sure that you try to read the questions while the person is talking. And for reading is like 40 questions and it is 60 minutes. You have to read fast. Reading, you have to make sure that you read fast. The 60 minutes, they go by very fast. And what worked for me, you have to read the question first and then you go to like the passage. Different people have different approaches, but what worked for me, you read the question first and then you go to the passage. So for reading, they do not give you time to transfer your questions as compared to the listening test. Reading, you have to read at the same time transferring your answers to the answer sheet. And the difficulty as you go into the different sections, it increases. You have to make sure that you can be able to memorize some of the passages and you read fast. And that was my reading experience. And then lastly, it was the writing. I actually was scared about the writing, but it wasn't that bad. They give you like 2 parts. So there is writing task 1 and then there is writing task 2. For writing task 1, you'll be able to do like a letter. You write a letter. So they asked about writing a letter to like your colleague at work, and you request your colleague that you need some help on some presentation that is going to be made at work, and you do not have experience with it, but your colleague has been working on those presentations for a long time, so he has experience. So you just have to write a letter, and you mention in your letter which kind of help your colleague can offer. So it wasn't that hard as I expected. Then for the second part, so for the first part, it's advised to do like within 20 minutes and you're done. And then spend more time on the task 2, because task 2 usually is a little bit harder. For task 2, they asked me to write about, is it true that education success is dependent on like a good teacher, or is it dependent on the attitude of the student? So you just have to write, I think it's around 250 words. It's not really hard. There's like materials on the internet that you can use to prepare. I'll link them down below in the description if you want to check them out, the ones that I used to prepare. And that was my experience. The results usually come like 10 days after the testing day. and see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment.